Hi, I'm Kelley Pitts, independent Stampin' Up demonstrator since 2005, quite a while there. I'm glad you've joined me for this evening. I'm going to kind of make sure everything's set up here and working properly. I'm still new at this, so if you'll give me a minute or two to kind of work on my iPad so I can see your comments, and then I've got them on my computer, I'm hoping to. We shall see. It's still saying plans to go live on my computer. There we go. Maybe it's working now. We shall see. Let me get the volume down or off on the computer. Hopefully it's up on the phone. Hey, Tanya. Thanks for sharing. Yay. All right, I'm getting all set. It just takes a minute to get all fixed up here. Let me get my iPad going so I can see any comments, see if anybody's tuned in. I'm gonna get y'all's opinion tonight and see if I should maybe change to 7. I've got a lot of people with conflicts right at 6 because it seems to be the dinner hour, so I may just start doing that. Start doing them at 7 instead of 6, but just kind of checking out for opinions here. Let me still get settled on my iPad. I'm kind of waiting for some other folks to come on and see if anybody else is watching. Hi, Cindy. Glad you're here. Thanks a lot for tuning in. I've been working on the Hey Birthday Chick bundle all day. We've got a class coming up. Hi, Jennifer. Welcome, welcome. Glad you're here. I am working on still getting this going here on my iPad, and hopefully we'll get that going in a minute. And it's still not showing up. We shall see what we can do. Glad y'all are here. Hey, Cindy. I guess y'all can hear me okay, or you would have let me know, right? Let's see. Here we go. I was at the wrong spot. I got to turn this down. Now, has anybody new come on? I'll show you in a minute what we're working on. Let's see. I'll give you a sneak peek. How about that? Let's see here. This is going to probably kind of mess me up here for what I had planned, but I'll give you a sneak peek while we're still waiting on some folks to come in. I am going to feature the Hey Birthday Chick bundle, and I've got a class coming up that tomorrow is actually the deadline to order the class, and I'll give you the details tonight. It is $65 and includes the Hey Birthday Chick stamp set, the Hey Birthday Chick dies, and also a packet of enamel dots that are the end colors for 20 to 22. And then I'm also making you, that's what I've been working on all day diligently, working on packets for you to be able to make 2 of each of 4 designs. Does that make sense? A total of 8 cards. I'll give you the cardstock, and then when you order the class, that means you'll get the bundle that you'll get to keep and use over and over again, as well as a celebration paper called Flower and Field, and that's all included. And then I'm cutting up the cardstock. All that's on me, kind of giving you some extra goodies and extra reason to go ahead and jump on board and get this Hey Birthday Chick set coming to you. But I do need to place the order tomorrow to get it in, and you'll get the PDF instructions to make all these cards. And then I'm planning right now, it's small enough where I may be able to do a Zoom, if we can coordinate a Zoom class. And so I can practice on some Zoom, and we'll just play and put the cards together on Zoom too. But here's one of the ones we're gonna make. Whoop, still learning here. This is one of the little chicks that we're gonna do. I'm gonna show you kind of the kits tonight, what they look like, how to, I'm not gonna show you how to make all the cards because that'll be part of the Zoom class that we will do. but this gives you a good idea. Tonight we're going to play with the blends using this stamp set, the Stampin' Up Blends, Stampin' Blends, and we're going to color these cute little chicks. And then I'll show you the kits, like I said, that are in the card class that makes these cards. But tonight we're just going to play with the blends because we haven't really taken time to do much of that on a Facebook Live yet. So if y'all are interested in finding out more about the cards or the kit, I should have that on my blog, and I can email it to you, I can text it to you, whatever you need, wherever you need the information, that would be great. All right, I think maybe the folks who have tuned in are the ones that are going to tune in. Let me go ahead and show you the stamp set too, and then we'll flip the camera down. Here's the stamp set. Whoops, keep going on the wrong side. I think this side will be better. The Hey Birthday check, and this is my friend Tanya Cook loaned me her set. Mine is not quite here yet. It's still with Mr. Brown, if you know who that is. Waiting for the UPS man to come, and poor guys out there working in the snow that we've had. It's been a little crazy for them, I'm sure. But these are the chicks that you just saw on the cards, and that's what comes in the stamp set. And then there are also dies that you use. We'll show you all the chicks that you can cut out, but these are the dies. I'll hold those up and you'll get to see those shortly. All right, I'll flip the camera down and we shall get started playing momentarily. If y'all will bear with me while I do some switcheroo stuff, that'll be great. Thank you. Here we go, getting settled here. And as you know, it does take a little bit of fixing to kind of get everything set. But I like to be able to see you and y'all see me. Got a little bigger space than I thought I had there. Yay! Okay. Well, as I said, tonight we're going to be featuring the Hey Birthday Chick stamp set and playing with our Stampin' Blends. And Stampin' Up has blends in a lot of the colors, not all the, I believe we have 48 colors, if I'm thinking correctly. But the blends don't come in all of them, but quite a few of them. Really, just about all you would need, they're in there. So, we're going to start by stamping in Memento ink, which is a dye ink, which is what we need to stamp with when we're using the blends, because those are alcohol markers. And what we're going to do is grab our little Stampin' Pierce mat. Even though we've got we have the cushioned stamp, this isn't the photopolymer, but I still usually use my little Stampin' Pierce mat anyway for cushion instead of just doing it on a hard surface. And when you have a stamp that's bigger than the stamp pad, if you flip it over like this, I find that works the best for me. We'll see what y'all think. Have y'all tried that? Let me see. I'm still not seeing comments. Hang on. Let me see if there they go. Pop up there. Let me see if I can get them to work on my computer, which would be awesome. I'm going to get that down from full screen. Thought I had that a while ago. But there we go. Now I've got them back. Okay. Here we go. Just in case that dried out just a little bit, we're going to stamp one of these little birthday chicks. And once again, stamp straight down and straight up. Try not to wiggle. And when I use I'm going to show you, we're going to do a couple of each, because we're not going to do the completed cards tonight, because that's part of the Hey Birthday Chick class that I have coming up. But we're going to stamp a couple of these. Straight down, straight up. I'll let it kind of sit there for a minute and soak into the paper. Alrighty. Now we're going to, I like to use my Stampin' Scrub. When I use Memento ink, the Stampin' Scrub is not the one that I've shown you before, the chamois. But with the Memento ink, it really stains the chamois a lot. And I really prefer getting that black ink off quickly, off of the stamps. And this is a textured, it's almost like AstroTurf or something. Has a little texture to it, and you put water in one side and a little bit of the Stampin' Mist that moisturizes and conditions your stamps, and then you dry it on the other side. So that's it. So you can see how easy that was to take care of that black Memento ink. So we're going to move that out of the way, and then we're going to go ahead and stamp a couple of other chicks. Birthday chicks. Hope y'all are doing great. Hope it's been a good week for you so far. We have had quite a little bit of snow here, and definitely the cold. We haven't had as much snow as I would like, really, to get some moisture. These poor farmers are counting on moisture. So if we're going to get this much dang cold, I would just as soon have the snow with it. But instead, we got a little snow and some ice, so it's been a little treacherous here in Lubbock, and I know a lot of places have it a lot worse than we have, so I'm not going to complain too much. I was able to stay home and work on Stampin' Up instead of going into the office because of the ice. Not real busy at our agricultural business at the moment, so this worked out great for me to be able to play with y'all instead. I'm going to go ahead and stamp another one of these so we've got some options to play with our Stampin' Blends. And you can kind of see when you have the stamp upside down like this, which areas need a little extra inking. Usually it's the middle part, and that's what it was here. You can kind of see now that it's fairly even. And we're going to stamp that again. Whoops, I got a little high on that one. I think we'll still be able to do it and cut it out with the die. Alrighty, let me clean that again real quickly. Move that over here, get our Stampin' Scrub out again. And like I said, I do use the Stampin' Scrub especially for Memento ink. I use the chamois the rest of the time on the other ink colors. But this one and the StazOn ink, I really prefer the Stampin' Scrub. Okay, I know y'all are proud of me for taking care of that right away, because that's what I preach to y'all. So I want to make sure I'm doing what I'm preaching here. We've got we've got really a chick and a, woo, almost had that in my lap. That's why I usually wear black when I'm stamping, some kind of black combo. Or some kind of pattern where it doesn't really matter if I drop it on myself. Okay, there's that chick all stamped up and ready. We're going to do a couple of her. She looks like a her with all that hair. Looks like a her to me. I don't know that we can really tell on that one. I think that first one was a rooster. And I can't remember what those little red hoochie deals are. I should know. Growing up on a farm, but we didn't have chickens. We had cows, but we didn't have chickens. Any of y'all grow up on a farm with chickens around? Anybody familiar with what that is? There we go. A couple of those. Now we're going to do the little bitty chick, and we'll have them all done. As soon as I clean this one up, we'll do the little bitty one. I'll let y'all look at it. If y'all haven't seen this up close, I'll let you see what your first reaction is. I know a lot of people see the stamped image and think it's one thing, especially in the days that we are going through now. And it's actually something totally different. But I can see where you get that. See, on a stamp this small, you can really do it this way and still get good coverage. You just have to look at it and make sure. It looks like that might be a little blobby on the top of his hat, but we'll see. It's just paper after all, right? There's a cute little egg. Egg with the chick. All right, and it is best to let the Memento ink dry before you start working on it with blends. If you do it too quickly, it can, oh yeah, Tanya, that is wattle. I forgot that's what that was called on a rooster. That little red part right there. Thank you for that. I should have known that. I do love the crazy haired chick too, Tanya. Yep, funny. Okay. We are moving right along. We are going to start with the one chick that's looks like it's dry. I'm glad, because it would be smearing otherwise, huh? Okay, we are going to play with the blends, and I'll show you this card. We can get the little Stampin' Pierce mat out of the way. We don't have to, well, let's see. We need some scratch paper underneath at least. Don't want to use that one. I will grab some paper. Here we go. Some scratch paper for that. When you work with blends, I just want to remind you, you do need scratch paper underneath because it will bleed through. It's meant to really soak into the paper, so it soaks through, and that's what it's intended to do. There's nothing wrong with it. You just have to be careful if you're doing it on an envelope or something that it shows on. You need to take care about that. Okay, we do not have Bumblebee, which is what coordinates with the paper that we are using on here, the Designer Series paper. This is part of the Flower and Fields set that you get for free when you have a $50 order, like you would with this class that's coming up. This paper, all of the papers from all 4 cards come with that kit for you. That comes in the celebration. So this color is actually called Bumblebee, and the ribbon is a Bumblebee gingham ribbon also, and this one has basic black in with the set. So we are going to coordinate this little chick with the Bumblebee, but we don't have a Bumblebee blends, but it's because the light Mango Melody and dark Mango Melody blends look almost exactly like Bumblebee. I mean, they look the same. So we didn't have to do another set. So that way you've already got what you need if you've got the Mango Melody. Okay, that cap does not fit on here. Yeah, it does. I don't know if that's awkward or not. We'll see if I like that or not. But when I work with blends, and a lot of demonstrators are different, a lot of customers are different, it just depends totally on what your taste is and what you like once you've started playing with them. And I take the light blend, and I usually use the brush part. There's a brush tip and a bullet point tip. And I just go quickly. You want to move quickly. You don't want to do a huge area at a time. You want to use it because the alcohol, part of what makes it blend is the alcohol in there. And that is what makes it blend, is the alcohol. So you don't want to wait until it's totally dry before you go to the next color. Then I go on the outside. It would be kind of where you would think it would be shadowed or it would be further away. Because his tummy, I'm thinking, would probably be sticking out a little bit. So it's probably going to be the closest to you. So that's probably going to be the lightest. And I'm kind of going around in a circle here. And we're going to go ahead, make it a little darker on the edges. Then I go back with the light. That was the dark Mango Melody. This is the light. And if you'll take the bullet point and go back over that line between the dark and the light, can y'all see that that's kind of disappearing? They're kind of blending together. I don't know if you can kind of tell that for sure. And you almost want to leave, I like to leave a little bit of white, but maybe not quite that much white there in the middle. You don't want it to just look white. I forgot to get my color lifter. I'm going to grab it real quick. And the color lifter will kind of blend that part together where it's not white. It'll take a little bit of that around and blend that where it just lightens that up. Isn't that pretty? I'm going to show y'all a little bit closer so you can see how well that blends. Can you see that the dark and the light, there's not a strict line like there was earlier because I've blended that in? Okay, then we're going to go back and color his little head. Do that with the bullet point too. And this is the light. You might want to double check yourself. I do that all the time. Now, do y'all think his head would be lighter or darker than his body? Just FYI. I mean, just checking. See what y'all think. Y'all think his head is darker or lighter? I'm going to go ahead around the outside, make it a little darker like we did earlier. Then we're going to take the blends, actually spread just a little bit. So since that wattle is such a small area, I'm going to show you our marker also. And this is a real red marker. It also has a bullet point and a brush tip, but the bullet point is tiny. So I usually use the brush tip on this. And I think the little crown part and the little wattle part, all of that is, in my mind, that's red. So that's what we're going with today, because we get to choose. When it's our card and it's our little birthday chick, we can do what we want with it, right? Okay, Tanya thinks the head's lighter. All right. Well, I am going to add just a little bit of pumpkin pie, because I think, in my mind, these feet are kind of orangey colored. So I'm going to use just the bullet point of the blend here. You could use either the marker or the blend, either one on that. And his other little foot is hidden up here in his feathers, where he's doing his little chicken dance. Do y'all remember doing the chicken dance? I used to go to Coldwater Country when I was in college, which was before it was Midnight Rodeo, and now it's like a shopping center or something. And let's see, we're going to put a little bit of the dark pumpkin pie in here. And again, I'm kind of doing it shadowed, so I'm doing it behind the body. And then we could either use the light pumpkin pie to blend that in, or you could just go ahead and go with the dark Mango Melody, however you want to do. I'm just thinking those feathers are a little darker. Then I'm going to add a little bit of that here, because we decided his face was lighter, so we're going to go with that. Make this a little... Sometimes the best way to make things look lighter is to put something darker around it, if that makes sense. Hi, Ueda. Glad you could tune in. We are playing with Stampin' Blends, and we're using the Hey Birthday Chick bundle. And I'm so glad you and Jennifer are both doing that Hey Birthday Chick class coming up. And this is part of what we're going to play with at the class. I'm not showing you how to make the cards like I will at the class. We're just playing with the blends. So there's kind of the way I did this chicken. And then you would just use the die to cut that out. If you've got your Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine or whatever die cut machine you have, this is the die that works on that. And Stampin' Up has really gotten great with their dies really matching up, so there's not a ton of white space around it. But you would just center the image within the die, and if you need to use a little washi tape or Post-it notes to make that stay when you make your little sandwich and put it in the Big Shot, or the Stampin' Emboss machine, Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, that's what you would do there. And next, we've got the little, we'll just go ahead and color one of the little chicks. And then if y'all want me to come back around, we'll see if we want to do a second version with some different coloring. But at least this gives you an idea of how awesome the blends are to play with. They're really, really fun. And you can collect a lot of colors. You do buy the light and the dark in a set. Okay, we're going to go ahead with the little chick. That one's smeared a little bit. I'm going to start with this one. We're going to go with the light Mango Melody once again. That's the way I do it. A lot of demonstrators start with the dark, but I like to start with the light and then quickly go back in, add the dark. And again, I am trying to make the outer part, anything that's shadowed. I would think there would be a shadow here underneath his little egg shell there. And it kind of defines that space by making that darker. And you've got such a little bitty area there, you don't really have to do a lot of blending. But you can go back with the light again and kind of blend that line out so that it's not so distinctive. Alrighty. And I think too, I just think of chicks with the beak being kind of orange. If you don't want it orange, you can certainly do a different color. You can use one of our Stampin' Right markers in the pumpkin pie. You can use one of the blends. This is just the dark. There's not really enough area to do a lot of blending there, so that's what we're going to do on him. And if we wanted a lighter one, we could try a lighter one. But while we're at it, I'm going to show you the difference in just using a marker on this one. Like I said, you don't have much space, so you can just use a marker, but you can see that this is not, you can't really do any shading. Even though that's a little area, you're not really going to shade it much. You can kind of go back over it a little bit. But that's kind of the difference. You can see there how much difference there is in using a marker and using the blends. There are certain times you can use markers that the blends don't work because they are alcohol based. Like they don't work as well if you're trying to color a stamp in multicolors and then stamp with it. It doesn't work as well as the blends don't work like the markers do. But when you're coloring a big area, I really recommend the Stampin' Blends if you can swing it. But we're going to go ahead and finish this one in marker right now. This is the pumpkin pie marker, which obviously I need a new one. But you do, when you purchase the markers, you have to buy the set of 10 in that color family. The brights or subtles or neutrals or regals. So you can't just replace an individual marker like you used to be able to. So just a heads up on that one. I obviously use pumpkin pie quite a bit in the fall, so then I don't have it the rest of the year. But the blends can be replaced. You do have to buy the combo, but you don't have to buy 10. So, alrighty. I'm going to show you the card that has the little chick on it that has a cute little saying. that is You're Still a Spring Chicken. Isn't that cute? Happy birthday. You're still a spring chicken. All right. Tanya, yeah, I just saw that you said you used to go to Coldwater Country. Yep, and Midnight Rodeo. And now I don't even know where I came up with that, where that came from. But sorry, had to get a little water. Okay, so the chick on this card, this particular card, it has the red that is actually Poppy Parade. So we'll try one of the blends in Poppy Parade or a marker. Let's see which one I can lay my hands on quickly. I didn't pull that one out. Oh, here it is. But I usually coordinate the whatever is in the designer series paper, whatever colors are in here is the color that I try to stick with on the cardstock. Except of course the pumpkin pie, but I feel like that kind of coordinates with some of these lighter flowers. It works, so that doesn't bother me. I just don't stray too far from that palette. Okay. And when you're going into tiny space with the blend, it's better. Jennifer was one of my brilliant ones at my recent class that suggested this, just dotting in the area. Instead of filling in the whole area, just kind of dot in the middle, and then it will kind of seep toward the edges, and it'll be perfect for you. Just what you needed. Okay, now we're going to go back to the light Mango Melody. Hi, Judy. I'm glad you love these cards. That's awesome. Okay, and I am still doing the Hey Birthday Chick class. I just have to know by tomorrow so that I'm sure that y'all can get your Flowering Fields paper. But how cute is that? Just with a little bit of coloring. But see, you can tell the difference right there with the markers, that the blends are really awesome to color with. Okay, so this is the little, hello, Kelsey Kiefer. I'm so glad you're watching. I've missed seeing you, and I've missed seeing your mom too. Glad you tuned in. Alrighty, we are ready to move to the next little chick. Since you've seen this card and you've seen us play with it. Oh, no. Sorry, not right. I want to show you on the egg. We're going to go with a little bit of light smoky slate. That is kind of a grayish color. We could probably go with kind of we've got a gray granite, and we have the smoky slate. But again, if you're trying to make something look lighter, you want to put the dark circle around it. And I'll show you with the color lifter how you can just kind of blend that in so you don't have that definitive line there. It kind of gives the egg a little more depth. Y'all can see how that kind of blends in. Then I'm going to give it a little bit of shadow underneath where the egg is cracking. Can y'all see this? This is what I was talking about earlier on the... Some people think that looks like a mask. We're so used to seeing masks that now instead of a chick coming through an egg, they think the chick has a mask on. But those are actually his little wings and his beak and face and wings coming out there, breaking through the egg. So as you can see, you do need to do this quickly with the color lifter. And I don't know how well this is going to show up online. I mean, on the Facebook Live. Hopefully I can get it close enough and you have enough light. Can y'all see a little bit of the shadow that makes, adding the gray to the egg? Can you see how much difference it makes for just the plain Jane egg and then having the gray there? I really think that adds a lot. And that's kind of what we did here on this chick. We'll cover that one up so you can see this one. There we go. Anybody have comments about this cute little chick? Alrighty. Now we're going to play with this chick. And you can go crazy on them. You can color them any color you want to. We can try some Flirty Flamingo on this one. I know Tanya did some Flirty Flamingo. Hang on, I can grab that color. Because this has some Flirty Flamingo in the cardstock, I do believe. So, why don't we try this? We're going to try just the dark here. Because nobody says we have to have the orange in there. We can have another fun color, right? We can do whatever we want. We can have... And you can take, that was the dark Flirty Flamingo. You could take, if you thought, oh, that's a little brighter than I wanted, you can go back with a little bit of the light pumpkin pie and see, tone it down just a little bit. Can you see that where it looks a little more similar to the pumpkin pie orangey over here? It's not quite so pinky. But there you go, it tones it down with the light. So even though those are two totally different colors, you can mix and match with your blends that way. All right, we're going to go with the paper also has the Just Jade, and yes, Tanya, you're right. The Smoky Slate really does help. You can use it for creating shadows in all the colors and not just on the white. All righty. We're going to try a little of the light Just Jade. I'm going to do his, her. Is this a him or a her? What do y'all think? Oh, Tanya said the Flirty Flamingo looks a little more neon when you put it on, but it dries less that way. All right, that's the light. Then we're going to take the color lifter and kind of blend that together there. We'll put some of the dark around the outside. And with one of y'all, I forgot to remind Susan about this, and she loves watching the play with the blends. Would one of y'all text Susan and let her and remind her about this live, just in case she is available and forgot, because she likes the blends. Just if you have a chance, somebody out there who has Susan's info. Whoops. Okay, we're going to, whoops, that's light. We're going to go a little bit more of the light here, where his face isn't white, just a little lighter in the middle. There we go. And you can use, like I said, you just play and see what you like. See if you like the bullet point, the bullet tip better, or the brush tip. It really depends on the size of the area that you've got to color. There we go. So there was the dark in the Just Jade that matches the paper. And then come back with the light again. Blend those two together. Okay. I think we'll do the balloon in the Flirty Flamingo. We'll go ahead and use the light on that. And again, I'll leave a little bit as if it would be the light hitting the balloon to kind of give it some depth and make it a little more round, and go quickly from the light to the dark. And you go around the outside because you want some depth. You want the part with the white, the part in the middle, to stand out toward you and everything else to go back. So in order to do that, you put the light the dark on the outside. Alrighty, now we're going to take and blend that with the light again to get rid of that harsh line. And then I would go back even a little bit more with the dark again on this area where Stampin' Up! Artist already shaded that. Okay. Oops, we forgot the little tie doohickey right there where it's tied. All right. And now we'll do his body or her body, and we will stick with the light mango melody on that one. And I'll show you, we'll add just a little bit of the flamingo in there if we want. I just kind of quickly coat it with the light. And you don't want to do too much of an area. This is probably a little too much to do at one time. But I'm used to it and I'm doing it quickly. So now go back really quickly with the dark so that you don't want it to dry. You want it to be able to blend. So we use the dark mango melody on the sides again because you want them to go back. And you want this to be darker behind the wing because putting the dark behind the wing pushes that wing forward. Same thing here. You want him to be lighter in the middle, darker here underneath the wings to pop those out. So they're not going to need a lot of little extra color. They'll just stay a little bit lighter. Can y'all see that? Is that working for you? All right. Now, if you want to put a little flamingo in there, shading, we could do that. That's still pretty bright, but you've got the bright in the paper, so I think that would be cute and pop out. And then you could kind of tie in a little bit more of this color, adding a few of these. I think just adding some of these like that makes it interesting. Just kind of sporadically use a little bit of that fun color. And since it's not quite as neon, we'll come back with a little bit more of that. And this is, again, the dark flirty flamingo. What do you think of him? Now see, he'll die cut out just the same way that the other one did. And you'll put him on this designer series paper that is the Flower and Field. This is the free pack. It's a whole 12 by 12 pack. Thank you, Susan, for sharing. I'm glad you're joining us. But that's the way that's done, and I'll show you all the details of the card whenever we do the class. You'll get the PDF instructions to do everything. And I don't know if I did the inside of this card or not. I'm going to have to see. Yes, I just put Let's Celebrate You and a little strip of the paper on the inside. And then these streamers are cut out with the birthday chick dies. That's one of the dies. You just simply cut out those streamers. The die itself, like I showed you a while ago, the full die cuts out the little chick and the balloon all at the same time. So that's the way that works, and run it through the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. And you'll have that detail. Okay. Susan, we'll have to, we're gonna, I'm glad you love these chicks. Okay, we are ready for our fourth card. Susan, I'm gonna show you these real quick. Sorry you had to come in late. I forgot to remind you earlier, so I'm showing you now the other two. And these are, and we colored these also. Okay. Now we'll move on to the fourth card. And this is the one Tanya likes the most, I think, with the crazy hair. Isn't that a fun chick? And we're going to play with a little bit lighter, add a little gray to the one we're going to stamp tonight. We're going to start with the smoky slate, the light smoky slate, just to kind of give you a different look from this one. And get these out of the way. All right. And I would normally start with the brush tip, kind of cover the body, leave a little bit of light down there. And then we're going to bring in some multicolors on the hair shortly with the jade and the misty moonlight. That is crazy hair. Okay, now we're going to come in with the light, just jade. I think I'm going to go ahead and use the brush tip. We'll use some of the light in here. This way I get to show you the lighter version. This is still using the colors. I'm letting the colors of the designer series paper, the DSP, kind of dictate the colors that I'm using, except for the gray. We're using just a little bit of the gray in there, so it's not as dark on this one. And then we'll use a little of the moonlight too. And why don't we do the cupcake liner in light jade and dark jade. We'll come back in with that. And I forgot his little face. Let's come back in with the light smoky slate there on the face. And a little bit of the light just jade. Okay, let's see how we want to do this. I'm just gonna we'll go with kind of the greens there, the jades, and then we'll go with the light misty moonlight, which is the bluish kind of color, that the cardstock that's in the paper. I'm just gonna use a blue one here and there, misty moonlight. But y'all can see, this is just, it's adult coloring is what it is. It's really a lot of fun, and I think it's therapeutic and relaxing. It just depends on the person, though. Some people don't like to color, and some people do. So I know they've got adult coloring books out there nowadays, and all kinds of things. So this is really a fun way to do that, to play. All right, I'm going to go with the dark smoky slate. Oops, that's not it. I thought I was. Light smoky slate. Maybe. Here he is. I may have waited too long here. We'll see. Let's see if we can blend a little of that blue with the gray. See what happens there. And this is all on air here. This is just playing with this. I haven't done this before. The only one I've done is this one over here with the misty moonlight. So we'll see what happens here. All right, it seems like we need a little bit more of the light smoky slate to kind of blend these together. So this is going to have a little bit different, a different shading, just because you're trying to work that gray in there. Trying to get the gray and the blue. What do y'all think? Do you like the brighter colors, or do you like it with the gray? Who likes which one better? For this crazy-haired chick. I'm just kind of playing here. Hope y'all are enjoying this. If you don't have a set of blends or some blends to play with, you are missing out. They are so much fun to use. Okay, let's see. What do we want? A blue top cupcake? I don't think gray sounds very good. So I'm going to stick with, let's go with the light Misty Moonlight around the edges here first. Seems like gray would be old, doesn't it? On a cupcake. Not really doesn't really sound very fresh. Okay, we're going to try a little smoky slate. Tanya wants smoky slate. We'll just add a little bit of that in with the blue. And then go with the color lifter. And I'm going to go with the dark jade. Dark just jade. Here we go. I've got blends all around, all over the place. That way it looks a little striped. All right. Now, color lifter to kind of blend that in there. The blue and the gray. And do have to be careful kind of with the color lifter not to overdo it and try not to get it all the way smeared outside, because this really does spread quite a bit. So it's hard to stay in the lines, in other words, if you're using that color lifter. I think we need to lift his face up a little lighter. Okay. Now let's go with the jade candle, because we have a blue cupcake. And then we'll take the light mango melody for the flame. Or do y'all want, does that work for you? Woo! Should have gone bullet point there. You got 2 points, Kelly. Okay. Now, my computer keeps going off. Blue's my favorite color, so Tanya likes the blue chick better. Cindy likes the brighter. I'm more of a bright gal too, but I thought I'd try this lighter one and see what we thought. Okay, do we want orangey pumpkin pie feet and beak, or do y'all want to stick with the mango melody on this one to see the difference? I want to kind of, what do you think? What do you think? I'm also going to use a little bit of the light smoky slate down here kind of as a shadow. I usually do that if I have an object sitting somewhere. I like to kind of ground it. And I know you're going to die cut this out. He'll be die cut out and it kind of comes around this way. But at least there will be a little shading around. Well, actually that should be on the white. That's on here, on the white piece that I put behind that. That's where I did that. Okay, let's see what y'all decided. Did anybody decide? Do you want to see? I didn't hear on the, I'm checking my comments here. And they disappeared off of my iPad, so. Huh. Whoop. No comments here. Oh well. I have, all right, I'll try the different one. Jennifer, you said you wanted to try something different. We're going to go with the mango melody feet instead of the pumpkin pie feet and see what we think. I think that works too. Bright and cheery. Make that match. This could be a little bit of grain, I guess. Or those sprinkles off the cupcake. Then we'll do his little beak. How are we doing time-wise? Let's see here. Almost time already. Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, who votes for which one? Do y'all like the lighter colored one? Or do you like the darker colored one? With the paper. Not darker, but this is a little bit lighter with the gray versus the brighter. Oh, Tanya, yeah, I had forgotten about Happy Feet. That's that was a great movie with the penguins. Bright Happy Feet. Yep, yep, yep. Okay, who else wants to see? Let's see, I think we've done we've colored all of the little chicks. We'll bring those back in. The ones we did tonight, just for fun. And I have seen also the dancing chick. I've seen this type of chicken, I think that's just a black and white chicken. And you can do that too. You can leave it black and white and just do a little bit of gray kind of on the sides. I'm gonna go ahead and use the brush. Let's just show you that. I don't know that I would necessarily do this with the designer series paper and the class that we have coming up, but you could certainly do that. And you could make and then use the color lifter with the light gray to kind of blend that in a little bit, that line. We'll see what we think of that. We need a little gray here. I think maybe just add a little shadow under those little feather marks there. And then it's just a black and white chicken. I think those are prairie chickens, aren't they? Or is that a prairie chicken? I'm not really sure. Now, once we get, we'll go with the dark on the, give him a little contrast here on the wings. The wings and the tail. And then you can see that that'll still pop. I'm going to use just the marker on the red because it's so tiny. There. And I don't know if I have a real red blends. If I do, I couldn't lay my hands on it at the very moment I looked. So we're going to, let's just use Pumpkin Pie here for his little dancing happy feet and beak. And there you go. There's a black and white one. So this kind of gives you an idea. Really, you can come up with any color combination you want. I just always recommend coordinating whatever you do with the designer series paper that you're using on your card. So if y'all are, anybody having questions about the blends or want me to try something else, I was trying to get y'all out of here in an hour. So I need to do my little drawing for, you get entered into the drawing once for just coming, and then another time if you've shared. So I always appreciate you sharing and joining me. So I'm going to write that down. Anybody else that shared besides, I'm seeing Susan. So Susan gets two chances. Jennifer, Judy, Cindy. Alrighty. Yes, I will talk about the class. Actually, the class is actually, I have sent out an email, but I can resend it, Cindy, if you didn't get that. But the class is $65 for the bundle, which is for the dies and the stamp set, and it includes enough, and the dies also cut out, I forgot to show y'all this. They cut out this little chick and a little bag of grain and a cute little bow tie. And you could use the bow tie on one of the chicks. Like, check that out. How cute is that? Isn't that darling? And then you could have a little chick with your other chick. And you could certainly have a bag of grain by one of the chicks. See, that'd be cute. Okay, the class, like I said, it is we will do a Zoom once we get everybody committed. I have 5 or 6 so far, and what I'm trying to do is just coordinate a Zoom class with the ones who have signed up. So tomorrow is the deadline to order the kit for the class. So you'll just commit to the kit, and then you get the PDF tutorials on how to make each card. I'll show you those. Like this one, it has all the cutting and scoring and instructions, a photo of the card, and this all came from my upline, Amy Story, who shared her class with us. So I'm excited about that. Oh, and I forgot to show you this, the happy birthday. This is in our foam adhesive sheets. And I don't know if you can see here. See if I can get the camera angle. Can y'all kind of see that? That this is raised up quite a bit? That is on, it's kind of like almost a solid sheet of Stampin' Dimensionals. And I'll show you that a little cutout here. This is a piece of it. The foam sheets come about like this. And I mounted the piece of Just Jade on top of the foam adhesive sheet. And then I used the Happy Birthday die that's in the set that I showed you earlier. Just put this die onto well, actually the foam adhesive sheet has a backing on the back and on the front. So the top one you'll peel off and stick the paper to it. And then later on, when you're ready to stick this, the back, you pull the backing off and stick the, see, this will come out like that. And then the backing comes off. Hopefully y'all can see this on the camera. It's about a 10-second delay, so I can't really see exactly what it looks like to you. There we go. I think you can kind of tell. But those are our foam adhesive sheets, and they come, I think, 4 to 6 sheets in a little pack like that. And they're just like $8 or something. They'll last you a while. But isn't that fun? It raises up, so it gives a lot of dimension to the happy birthday message. Sorry I didn't show you that earlier. Okay, and then that's how this is raised. See, this is stuck up on dimensionals and put onto the layering circles or the stitch shape circles, but that is just stuck flat to the cardstock, but yet it's raised because of the foam behind it. And then you use some of the little enamel dots that will come in the class also. So you get that foam adhesive sheets are just perfect, like Tanya said, to pop up small die cuts. It's really fun for that. Okay, so you'll get, with the class, you'll get all of these PDF instructions on how to do each card in detail, the cutting, scoring, everything. But I will have the whole kit ready for you. I'll have the cardstock cut, the little DSP cut. It's going to be a whole kit like this, except for the stamped images. You'll just get a piece of paper and you'll stamp all the images yourself and die cut them out with your stamp set that you get. So if you decide to do the class, Cindy or anybody else who hasn't signed up yet, y'all let me know tomorrow as soon as you can, because I will be placing that order. And then if you need to add any of the blends to do it, you can add those to my order tomorrow too. But at the class itself, really the class is the PDF tutorials and the cardstock to make 2 each of those 4 designs. So I'm giving you all the stuff to make 8. All you do is buy the kit for $65, which covers the bundle and the enamel dots, and it covers the shipping and tax. So all the other stuff, goodies that I'll give you are free. Isn't that awesome? And the celebration stuff. So I'll bring back in the 4 cards that we'll be doing at the class. See if I can do this without a huge mess here. We've got a lot going on the desk. All right, and I've still got to draw. Y'all don't let me forget that. Let's see if I can get those where y'all can see them. So even if you can't make it to the Zoom class, and I hope I can coordinate it where everybody can. But even if you can't, that will be recorded. And you'll have that and the PDF instructions to make the stuff on your own, Cindy. So it's not like just a class at my house that you'll miss or not. It's stuff you get to keep. It'll be the bundle. So and you can either Venmo me or send me a check. Okay, I got Cindy, Judy, Jennifer, Susan. Anybody else in for the drawing that I haven't seen? I'm just looking at comments. If anybody else is out there watching, I would love to include you in the drawing. Let's see who else shared. Anybody? Tanya shared. Tanya's name wasn't there, was it? Tanya, once for being here and once for sharing. Alrighty. Sorry I don't have a fancy comment picker online like some people do, but maybe eventually I'll get there. I hope. Alright, anybody else have anything while I'm messing with the drawing? I've got Tanya's. Foam adhesive sheets are item number 152815. And they are fun. How much are those, Tanya? Do you have the catalog right there? I think they're about 8 or so. Okay, I am about to draw. Here we go. Door prize of the night goes to Tanya. Yay! Awesome. Tanya, you won. So I will get that to you when I return your dies to you. Yay. Thank you very much for tuning in, and thanks for sharing. Thanks, Susan, for sharing. I'm glad, Cindy, I'm glad you're in for the class. I see that. That's awesome. And if you know anybody else who would want to join in, just let us know. And okay, Tanya said that the foam adhesive sheets are $8. Thank you. Thank you much. Thank you much. Okay. Well, we'll be doing these fun cards, and you'll get the rest of the designer series paper pack that we don't use on these cards. You will get to keep. So, and then I provide all of the cardstock and the ribbon. So I'm excited about that. Let me turn the camera up again just a sec so I can say bye and see if y'all have any more comments where I need to answer any more questions. Hang on and I'll switch you around. Okay. Yay. I hope y'all enjoyed that, getting to play with the blends tonight. I hope you stay warm and hope your power stays on and you still have water and electricity and heat and all that. I feel so sorry for all those people who don't. I have a friend whose husband's in the hospital and she was in the hotel because he was in ICU and she couldn't stay with him, and they're in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and she didn't have electricity in the hotel, so she couldn't take a shower. She had to sleep in her clothes and with a blanket on. And so we're very lucky here that we just had, some of us had a few brownouts going on, I think. But I hope you are warm and safe, and thanks for tuning in, and hope to see you next Wednesday. And y'all didn't let me know, of the people who are on, would y'all rather have this at 7 instead of at 6? Would that work better for y'all? Because I can certainly switch it if I need to. Excuse me. Y'all let me know. Sorry, I had to have a sip of water. Talk, talk, talk. I've been scurrying around all day just cutting out paper and making these cardstock kits. So I'm getting it ready for y'all. I'm excited that y'all are participating in the class, and thanks for coming tonight. Hope you'll tune in again, and please encourage friends to join also. That would be great. Okay, anybody else? Yeah, let's see. I've kind of got a mixed review on the time. So I may send that out and in a little survey or something and see from other folks too how that works. Excuse me. Oh, I'm so sorry. Gotta have another sip of water and they'll say bye. Anybody else have anything? I'll let you know about the time then. It looks like we're about half and half on it so far. All right. Well, thanks again for tuning in. I will see y'all soon. I look forward to sharing all the fun stuff with this class with you, the Hey Birthday Chick class. And then on Monday, also, I have the Hello Dear Friend kit class here at my house. And on Thursday, the same thing. So if y'all want to do that, I have more kits coming in. So they should be here. They're supposed to be here tomorrow, but surely I'll get them by Monday. So I've got 5 signed up already, I believe, on Monday night. So I have room for 1 more on Monday, and then I have room on Thursday. And if y'all want to see that project kit, that's the one that's in the catalog. And it's $40 for the class, which includes your kit and shipping and tax, basically. It's basically just the kit, and then I'm going to let y'all use some embellishments and things of mine. So it'll be fun to play with, but you'll make 12 cards on that Hello Dear Friend kit. So y'all let me know if you want to do that one. I still have openings, like I said. That's on Monday and Thursday. So you should have emails about that also. If you don't, let me know, because I've done some on Google Forms. I'm trying to learn that. And then I've done some through the Stampin' Up website. So y'all just let me know if you're interested in one of those and I don't have you signed up yet. And if you're a demonstrator, y'all just holler at me and we'll work that out. Okay, would love to have you. Thanks. Have a great evening. Fun times ahead. Bye-bye.